Okay, so what's your trade idea today?
We're going to go and try and take advantage of what I think is a coming revival in the British pound. Since Brexit, but even before this, the Brexit vote in 2016, the British pound has been out of favor with almost any cross or any trading pair. I think we're about due, one, now that we're approaching the end, we hope, of the Brexit negotiations. I think we're about due for a revival in the British pound. Most specifically, I'm focusing on the euro, since that's where the greatest disadvantage has been up until now.
Okay, so do you see this more as a trade on the pound than the euro, or the other way around?
Definitely a trade on the pound. It's the pound that has suffered. It's the pound that was driven down very low after the Brexit vote. A lot of the logic to that was both fear of the unknown and also economic logic. Fear of the unknown because it's never happened before. We didn't know, we still don't really know conclusively what will happen when Britain, the UK, leaves the Eurozone. Something like this has never happened before. It was certainly not something that was ever planned for in the conception of the EU or in Britain joining the EU. So that was a large driver. Markets, as we know, dislike the unknown and they dislike fear very much. So the fear of what would happen was a real driver of the valuation, the devaluation in the British pound. In addition, though, I mean, there was a good logical assumption there that this would cause a great deal of dislocation for the British economy. The logic is quite simple. Britain's greatest overseas market is the EU. Therefore, if there are any problems with that relationship, it will reflect immediately back in the British pound. What we've seen, I think, the first one we don't really know yet. There still could be another blow-up, and we'll talk about that in a minute, as far as the political fears about the EU. But certainly the perspective and the concern for the British economy have not really come to pass. The types of problems that were thought to be generated have not happened. The British stock market, the FTSE 100, is doing very well. It's up almost 20% from the pre-Brexit levels. So the economic issues have not really developed. This has not really worked its way back into the market for the British pound. And I think primarily because of the overriding concern and also the overriding drama within Britain, but also having to do with the EU and the negotiations about the Brexit negotiations. As they draw to a close, as it becomes clearer that some sort of deal is going to be made, and in lieu of anything else, everyone's going to end up agreeing to it, I think you'll see some of that pressure removed from the pound.